Right. And then, so if we go to the next medium, which is the pastels. So you've got soft pastel, you've got oil pastels, you've got charcoal. What do you want to just explain a technical part to that medium?
Well, it is considered to be a drawing medium. So the beauty about pastels is it's extremely quick, which can also be someone's demise as well. And what's so lovely is that all your pastels are displayed out in front of you, so you don't have to do any pre-mixing at all. So it's extremely quick, so you can make wonderful headway very quickly, but you can make mistakes very quickly as well. And it's working layer upon layer upon layer. You know, so you're mixing on the surface as you paint, drawing, as opposed to mixing on your palette and then applying the color onto the surface. So it's mixing on the surface, which is very exciting.
So that, I suppose coloring in pencils would also come into this category as well, because
yeah, it's probably more subtle, where pastels has got that's a very good point. I think pastels has got a more meaty kind of feel to it. You know, it's got a thickness to it.
So you can work either dark to light or light to dark, but again, it's wise to understand how the technical process is. But like you say, because with coloring in pencils, you can do either or. But if you're not skilled and don't understand what to look for, it can be also just as frustrating. With charcoal, it's the same process, isn't it? You can work light to dark or dark to light, or in layers. But again, you can make quick mistakes. But with charcoal, you can use your finger and smudge, and you can rub out areas. Same with the soft pastel as well.
Yes, erasers. You can even add a little bit of solvent to a paintbrush, and
you can
apply
it on water as well. You can add more. Yes, definitely. And then you've got obviously oil pastels where it's oil based, so you can build it up in layers and have a dark to light, light to dark. Now the only thing is what we're talking about, which you've just mentioned, that operative I'd say trigger that really pushes people, is using an eraser and a rubber. And that I have definitely noticed emotionally how it does restrict your growth, because you're almost rubbing out a part of yourself. You are rubbing out and not accepting a part of yourself. So whether that be an acceptance of how you're contributing to a situation, whether it be acceptance in yourself, whether it be how you do your business, and almost burying your head in the sand is what I would say when you're using an eraser or even a putty rubber, if you're not knowing how to use the putty rubber skillfully. And those, I notice, the people who are wanting to control their situations or the areas, and they're not prepared to take the step back, are the ones that literally gravitate mostly to the rubbers and the putty erasers without skill, knowing how to use it.
Also maybe not being comfortable with chaos, not being comfortable with being uncomfortable, which it's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah, and afraid to say I've made a mistake, or afraid, a lot of fear behind that.
Yeah.
And but yet how the medium does help people is it's almost like a quick fix, isn't it? So like with coloring in pencils, when I say to people, sit down and color after a day, because if you say, oh, I can't take my paint anywhere, and you say, okay, well then take a coloring in set to just give your brain the breathing space to calm down. So it's almost like a quick fix to just get you back into breathing, another process. Same with charcoal, it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
The pastels are a quick fix, and they're great just to have a quick play, so where you're not mindfully working out a process while you're doing that. Is there anything you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I've got a student that's really mastering pastels. She's producing such lovely work. So it's almost poetry in motion. It's just so lovely to see someone that's embraced this exciting medium, because it's not that popular. And one of the reasons why they say it's not popular is because you have to spend a lot of money with the framing, and it's got to be behind glass. So when you want to present, you know, it's very fragile. You've got to encase it very quickly behind glass. And so that becomes expense.
And 10 years down the line, it won't stay to its true. Well, I mean, like if you're looking at down a century, you don't really see pastel drawings brought to the front as much as you see oil paintings.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because you've got some interesting chemicals at the moment where you sort of spray fix it, and hopefully it will preserve it. But you're right, after centuries probably not, because the paper alone, you know, is so fragile. But then there is new techniques at the moment, and I suppose we're going to embrace the modern technology, or you know, modernism, is that they also vacuum the image as well.
Yes, so to just bring us back, so is there anything else you wanted to say about the charcoal, the coloring pencils, the pastel side?
No, I think that's absolutely fine. Just something interesting. You know that I didn't know this until about 2 years ago. The varnishes that they use to preserve oils wasn't actually very good, because it used to discolor. Now your modern varnishes that you do put over oils, they clear, they don't discolor. So, you know, technology is helping us, which is great, you know, with superior chemicals for preservation anyway.
Okay.
For art materials.
Great. Okay.